Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Swantek here to talk to you about lesson 7.1, which is in your math journal number 2. And we're going to be taking a look at exponents today, which should be a review for a lot of us, but something new for some of us as well. I want to start out with a little funny joke for you. Why did the math book look so sad? Because it had so many problems. Now I got you thinking about math. Let's go ahead and get started on exponents. All right, we're going to do a quick review about what standard notation is because we're going to be seeing a little bit about it as we talk about exponents, and we're going to be talking about exponential notation and so forth. Standard notation is simply 3. Or the number 265. It's the way that we often see numbers, just plain actual numbers. Now, if I ask you to say, write something in exponential notation, it's a shorthand way of repeating a factor of expression. So I would have a base of 3 and to the power of something. We've seen this a little bit before in our math, and this is what we're going to be taking a look at. Here we go with exponents. Why do we use exponents? Well, we use exponents to write multiplication expressions so that factors are repeated. So instead of saying 2 times 2 times 2, I could, right here, have 2 to the third power. 2 is going to be the base, which is going to be the factor, how many times you actually multiplied by itself. The 3, a lot of you know to the power of 3 or to the third power, that is telling us how many times we actually need to use that number that is our base, how many times we're multiplying it by itself. So since it's 3, we multiply our base 1, 2, 3 times. How do we get 8? Well, first out with 2 times 2, which is 4, and then 4 times the last 2, which is 8. Exponents can be as simple as that, and you can see that it's really shortened up as we just write 2 to. All right, we're going to go ahead and do some practice with a few problems just to check to see that we understand how exponents actually work. And then part of your in-class activity today will be taking a look and finding errors that were made with using exponents. So if we take a look, here we go. This is written out in long form, or we could say that it's standard notation, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. We can easily switch it up and have our base of 4, because that is the factor that we are continuing to multiply, and we're multiplying it once, we're multiplying it twice, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. Since we're multiplying it by the same number 5 times, 5 is going to be our exponent, or our power that we are multiplying it by. All right, this is going to be on page 209 in your math journal, in which I'm going to be looking at in just a few moments. If you can see right up here, if we have an exponential notation, so we have a base and we have an exponent, so 5 to the 4th power, the base is the number that we have our factors, okay, we're multiplying it by 5. How many times are we doing it? 4, because right here is our exponential notation. So we're taking the number 5 and we're multiplying it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Now if we were to go ahead and get a calculator, if we were to put 5 times 5, we're going to go ahead and get 25, and then 25 times 5, go ahead and pull out that calculator. Which is 125, and multiply by another 5 to get that 625. I'm going to go ahead and step you through how to do this next problem, and hopefully you can finish the rest of the page on your own. Looking with the information that we have right here, we have our factor of 6. So since that is our factor, that is going to be our base number of 6. How many times did we multiply the number by itself? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, so that becomes our exponent. To get into exponential notation, we take our 6, we put it to the 4th power, and there you go. Now going ahead and doing our standard notation. Remember, standard notation is how we always typically see our numbers. We're going to go ahead and grab our calculator, and we're going to do 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, and we should have received the number of 1,296. That page, when we get to that point, once again, here is a little bit of review. We read 6 to the 3rd with a as 6 to the 3rd power. Remember that the 6 is our base, the 3 is our exponent. Once again, since it's 6 to the 3rd, we have 6 as our base, so that is going to be our factor that we multiply, and the reason why we have 3 is because our exponent tells us that's how many times we need to multiply. I'm going to give you a few seconds here to take a look at this problem and try to find out what the correct answer would be. Remember thinking about our factors and how many times is it being multiplied. You should have gotten the correct answer is actually going to be 5 to the 4th power. 5 is the number that we continuously are multiplying it by, and we're doing it 4 times. Example, which of the following is 9 to the 6th power? Using your knowledge of 9 as a base into the 6th power, we usually think about as exponents. If you gave the answer of C, 6 to the 9th, you mistakenly reverse the numbers. The actual answer should be D. 9 is your base and 6 is your exponent. So D should be your correct answer. Have one last example here. Evaluate to the 10 to the 2nd power. Evaluate is the same thing as give an answer. So the answer of 10 to the 2nd is going to be 10 times 10. The base of 10 and an exponent of 2. That's how many times we multiply it by itself. So 10 times 10, which is going to be 100. A review, 1 times 1 is 1, and we add how many zeros we're multiplying it by, so there's 2 zeros, so we should have had our answer of. All right, now it is time that you go ahead and get started. I hope you have all the tools you need to be successful in the next couple pages. I would like you to complete 209. You may be more than welcome to work together with a partner in a small group. Just make sure that you're working hard and you are making some coming around and taking a look at page 210. Page 210, I'm going to be asking you some questions about what the mistakes are and so forth. So make sure that you are ready to go with being able to describe what is actually happening in the problems in 4, 5, and 6. And definitely go ahead down here and check out some of the numbers and how to write it in standard notation for some extra practice to be working on today for your math boxes, which is 7.1, is you're going to need to do in problems number 1, 2, and 3, all working on fractions, what we just finished last unit. Best wishes. If you have questions, I'll have a small group and I'd be more than willing to answer those questions at that time. Make sure that you have written down some notes and you've gone back and maybe added to the notes and so forth, as those are going to be graded as well.